I had this empty space on this part of my house that I needed a table, so I decided to build one. As you may already know, I'm not a professional woodworker. I don't have a dad that was a woodworker and he taught me. My grandpa didn't have a wood shop. I didn't take wood shop in college. I just started watching YouTube videos and started learning. And I don't tell you to brag or to say, look at me. The reason I tell you this is because this table involves some weird angles that I had no idea how to make. It involved using templates that I had no idea how to use, tools that I didn't have that I had to make. In other words, on this project, there was a lot of firsts for me. But in all honesty, that's kind of what I like about woodworking. I have no idea how to do it. And still, I go ahead and do it. And hopefully, this inspires you if there's something that you want to do and you don't know how to do it. I think that's the best way to do something. Because if you knew how difficult it was, you would probably say, that's too hard. I'm not gonna do it. Take this marking gauge for example. I didn't know how it worked or how to use them. So I did a little research. Then I thought about it. Then I went ahead and made one. Take this tinning jig for example. I didn't know how to use them. I didn't know how to make them. But playing around, I was able to make one. And it worked pretty darn good. All to say, woodworking is pretty neat. Talking to my wife the other day, she asked me, what is your goal with woodworking? Because if you don't know, I don't do woodworking for other people, other than friends and family when they ask me. But other than that, I don't. And let me come back to that. This taper and jig, I also made because I didn't have one. And actually, I found out later what it was because I saw it on a different video, but I didn't know they actually sold them. So that's pretty neat. I'm gonna use this tenon and jig to cut an angle on the legs so that they're not just a plain square going down, they actually taper from the top to the bottom. Anyway, back to my wife. She was asking me what my plan with woodworking is. Because there's been some people that come to me and say, hey, can you build me this? But honestly, I don't do work for other people unless it's friends and family. So I had to think about it, and she had a good point. Right now, I have 3 kids, and they're my priority because woodworking takes a long time. I see other YouTubers that post every week, and honestly, I'm dumbfounded as to how they do it because, first of all, making the project that you're making takes such a long time. That's just making the project. That's not including going out to buy the wood, coming back to edit the video, all these other things that are involved in making a video. A lot of times there could be hundreds of hours in just a single video. And my kids need all of that time. They need to learn how to do the times tables. They need me to take them to water polo practice. They need to go with their friends to the mall. And I'm happy I can do that for them. And the more I watch these YouTubers online, I come to a conclusion. Just by what they say, how they talk, they don't have kids. Or they have one child. Or they don't work. And I have a full-time job. For that reason, I can't say right now I wish I could have 1,000 orders or even 2 or 3 from people or from friends because that's not my priority. My priority are my kids. Now, with that being said, every time I make a piece of furniture out of wood, I'm amazed as to what I can do, especially because nobody taught me and nobody helped me. I didn't call anybody to ask him advice on something that I had no idea how to make, and I was stuck trying to figure it out. And still, I did it. And it's so much fun to get a piece of wood that you can't see even what the grain looks like, to in the end have something beautiful, functional, and say, I did that. That's such a good feeling. And I really recommend it for you. I really recommend that if you have, for example, an office job or a job that you don't see progress, like, for example, the mailman. Yeah, their job is important, but at the end of the day, yeah, they delivered the mail to 1,000 homes. But then tomorrow you start and do the same thing all over. That's kind of the job that I have. I do the same, not the same thing because I go every place, different places every day, but there's no progress to it. And with something you're making with your hands, you're cutting this piece of wood and then you're making it what you want and watching the progress as the work flows. And at the end of the project, you can say, huh, I made that out of a piece of wood. And with that being said, I would really appreciate if you appreciate my work. I mean, you don't have to, but it would show by you liking the video, or if you're not a subscriber, subscribing. Because honestly, I'm taking a long time to make this furniture. Yeah, it is for me, but it's entertainment for you. And subscribing is free. So it helps me know that if you subscribed or you liked that video, that I'm doing something right. Even though I'm not a professional, I'm putting myself out there. I'm leaving myself vulnerable for you to say, hey, you can improve on that. And even that, I would appreciate. Just criticism, positive if possible, but I'll take negative criticism too if you have it. Anyway, by now you're probably tired of listening to me. But what can I say? I got things to say. I got inspiration for this console out of a YouTuber named Keith Johnson. You guys probably know him. He's a really good woodworker. He has all the fancy tools that I don't have, but I do with what I have. Anyhow, if you watch his video, he did things a little different than, I guess I should say. I'm doing things a little different than how he did. But it is my project, so I got inspiration from him. I didn't buy his plans, I didn't get his plans. I just watched his video. And then I did it my way. And I'm sure you can deduct what's going on just by watching the video. But before the glue up, I did a dry fit to make sure that everything lined up and was actually gonna go in place where it's supposed to. I use the domino for a lot of the joinery because I have it, and because even though a lot of people say bad things about the domino, I think they say them because they don't have it. But at one point, I was able to find one used, and it's a really good tool. It helps a lot. So I'm not ashamed to use it because I worked hard to buy one, and I think that's the best anybody can do. This part that I'm building is gonna be for the bottom. This is gonna hold another piece of wood to serve as a bottom shelf. And I cut the angles on the sides of this piece of wood to match the angle of the legs, which is 5 degrees. And I know 5 degrees doesn't sound like a lot, but it just makes the piece of furniture look a little more classy. Or even if it's not classy, makes it look not boring. Before putting everything together with glue, I decided to do a round over on everything. I think that's gonna make it look better and make it easier to round over, because once it's all put together, it's just too difficult. This piece of wood is gonna serve as the bottom shelf. And look at that grain. I know right now you can barely see it, but once I put the clear on it, it's gonna look so good. You'll see. And the dominoes that I use don't serve any purpose other than aligning the board so that there's not a lot of sanding left once the glue dries. But I'm sure you knew that already. And once the glue is dry and all the pieces have been rounded over, it's time to do the glue up. The glue up is not very difficult. I think if you did a dry fit beforehand and everything fit perfectly and you took your measurements right, the glue up shouldn't be very stressful. There is a lot of work involved and you have to work as quickly as possible. The glue up will go very smooth. If I may give you a little advice, every time you're gluing up something, it's very helpful to have a wet rag or a wet towel, because when the glue starts running, it's always helpful to clean it up as quickly as possible. That way you don't have the glue stain when you go to apply the clear. After gluing this up and after the glue was dry on the bottom shelf, it was time to finish it up. After removing the excess glue, I sent it through the planer to remove the glue, cut a straight edge on both sides, and then it was ready to cut it to size and cut a 45-degree angle at the bottom on both ends, just to give it a little bit of a design. And we are approaching the end of this video, and I would like to thank everybody that watches my videos, because without you guys, I wouldn't even have a channel, and I do appreciate that. And as we approach the end, I guess we're getting ready to finish. I mean finish, like apply the finish. But before we apply the finish, we have to do some sanding. So here's a little shot of sanding, because that's so much fun. And to finish this piece of furniture, I'm using Ruby Monocoat Clear or Pure. Yeah, that's what it's called. And if I didn't mention, this wood is walnut, if it's not obvious. And I think everybody knows how Ruby Monocoat works. You put one coat let it soak for about 5 to 7 minutes, then you wipe it off. Yes, all of it. All of it. I mean, if you have a piece of towel, you just wipe until the cleanest towel comes out clean. Yes, you don't leave any of it because later it will turn gooey and ugly, and you don't want that. And man, look at that piece of wood. I love the spalting of it. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. This was a very fun project. It was a first for me. It was challenging, but it was fun. And don't be afraid to be afraid. If you don't know how to do something, just go ahead and do it. You're gonna find out how to do it no matter what. Because if you're the kind of person that is anything like me, you're gonna do research, and if you get stuck somewhere, you're just gonna take a deep breath, go do some research, and come and finish it up. I honestly had no idea how this project was gonna turn out, but in the end, I'm glad I did it because it looks so good. And look at this, it fits my place so good. So thank you guys again. Keep it up, stay with me, and keep watching my videos. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Have a good night, or day, or weekend, or all of it. Love you guys. Bye.